Welcome to the black sheep of the Cloudstormer family, Cannon Forge.
It's a perfectly fine park, if you ask me. How many others can boast a landmark ride like the Thrillinator,
Landmark, maybe. But unless it also floats, we have a problem.
What?
We've lost our court case over the Cannon Forge Dam. Once they put the dam into operation, the park will only be able to accept divers and fish as visitors.
Well, what are we going to do about it?
I'm working out our options for moving stuff, but I could use more time.
Time is precisely what we don't have thanks to the guy behind the dam project.
Wait, it's not...
Yep. Well, who else likes large concrete structures and hates theme parks?
Hemlock.
Well, Hemlock's backed us into a corner, all right. Cannon Forge is going to be flooded unless anyone has a Hail Mary play.
Sorry, Izzy, but before you find solutions, you have to understand the problem. I mean, who is this Hemlock? Why are his goons wandering suspiciously around our park?
Prickling privacy. Let's not go digging in Izzy's skeleton closet. I mean, who hasn't got a past? Nobody! Why, I've got at least 3. No, wait, that's passports.
Sophia's right. We have to know why Hemlock is here. I did some digging, and his consortium has never shown any interest in public works before the dam.
Isn't Hemlock just upset about Izzy dumping him? I mean, not romantically, obviously. Ooh. But the Investor Wiki says Izzy interned with Hemlock while she was at Stanford, and they worked together for a year after she graduated.
Enough! Yes, Giles and I were business partners for a while, but it was my mother who put me up to it, and I hated it. Hemlock's idea of fun is turning concrete into cash.
But you came from your stepfather's company when you joined Cloudstormer. Our biggest rival, I might add. You never once mentioned another job before that.
People make mistakes. It's how we learn. But I had no idea that Hemlock had some kind of grudge against me for leaving.
I don't make mistakes. And when I do, they're awesome.
Fighting among ourselves isn't going to help us solve the problem of Hemlock flooding our theme park. Yes, he's gunning for me. He has all the emotional intelligence of a Venus flytrap. But all that matters right now is stopping him.
Spot on, Izzy. The past is what we leave behind, like firecrackers and a tiger sanctuary before running for the wall. And we're all friends here, right? And I know we can crack this together.
It was the first time Cloudstormer built a roller coaster. Well, first successful time. And my first time in charge, too. The Thrillinator was so exciting. The doctor said it was a cure for narcolepsy.
And a cause of spinal injury after it shook itself apart and sent the cars careening off down Cannon Forge?
This history lesson is all very well, but what we need right now is a viable way to build a park, and we can't put it underwater.
Not here, anyway. I still want to build that live-action Shark Tank where an animatronic passenger gets plucked from the ride and eaten alive.
Yes! Yes, I'm sure the heart attacks and lawsuits for that one will be worthy of the legacy of the Thrillinator, but what we need here is space to build on. Interesting. If it got us to drop our case, they'd probably be glad to give us something everyone thinks is useless.
Can't be any worse than the park we built on a disused sewage farm, eh?
You did what?
Okay. Well, it means moving the Thrillinator, but this could work.
Other parks have sometimes moved legacy rides like this using a heritage company, but it's so expensive it would make Blaze's personal injury insurance policy look cheap.
No one admires the Thrillinator more than I, but that money could be better spent having our new Visioneer make something even more spectacular for the new park. Not only will it cost us a fortune to move the Thrillinator, but we also lost the ownership of the land it stands on. This will cost us double.
I don't do sentimentality. I'd blow up my own RV if I thought I'd get a big enough kick out of it. But even I can see this ride is a big deal. Couldn't we at least try to raise the cash to save it?
Yes, we'll save the old dog. We just have to sell 1 billion cheeseburgers for $1, or one wacky hat for $1 billion, or we can eat enough hats for $1 billion or something.
Phil,
What do you think, youngster? We can fiscal the line bottoms, right?
Balloons are nice and cheap. And we already have the helium. I had to confiscate it from Phil when he was pretending to be a leprechaun.
See? My plan is working already. I'm not as bad with money as Izzy always likes to say, or as my high school standardized testing reported.
you're all completely insane. But as the chief lunatic at this particular asylum, I'm willing to go along with Phil's proposal for now.
Very magnanimous, Izzy. But what about your pal, Hemlock? He has his goons all over that dam, and your new park. They'll spook the staff and sabotage the rides and sour the milk.
Well, any risk of buttermilk notwithstanding, that's just the cost of doing business on this occasion. What would help you get the new Cannon Forge Park up and running? We can make some new, younger hires, perhaps. People who aren't worn down with age and still eager to please.
Well, that feels like a direct attack.
Very good. Hemlock wants a war. By all that's holy, we'll give him one he won't forget in a hurry.
I can feel my ulcer bursting just thinking about it, but shouldn't we be worried that even if we stop him here, Hemlock won't stop coming for Izzy?
He won't, but neither will we. We have a new Visioneer, a dynamite team to back them up. Nothing is holding us back but the past. Let's get to work.
What are those sirens? Are they coming from the dam?
Good lord, he's doing it! He's flooding the old park. It's not scheduled for months!
The Thrillinator!
I know. Oh, hell. Has anyone seen Phil?
You.
Oh, Phil, you're there. I was worried you'd chain yourself to the Thrillinator or something.
You promised me that the Thrillinator would be saved. That's the one thing I asked for.
And he promised me we could move it.
What? You told Hemlock about the plan to move my ride? You told him how important it was to me? This is what you wanted to happen.
Now hang on there, Phil.
You want to get rid of the last traces of Phil Bailey. Fine. Done. Good luck to you and my replacement. I quit.
So, how are we going to build a new park now that Phil's gone?
We aren't.
But isn't building theme parks the only thing the company does? Might be a bit late to diversify.
Listen, everyone. Embarking on this kind of venture without Phil, it's just not the same. What's the point in Cloudstormer without Phil?
Well, usually I'd expect you to say making money.
There's more to life than money.
Oh God, is she sick?
Cloudstormer isn't just a business. It's a family. It was never that way with Hemlock. He had all the warmth of an iceberg.
Well, if we're meant to be a family, then what's a family without a crazy old coot spouting hilarious nonsense at you?
Just the one. Clearly, you've never spent Thanksgiving with my peeps. But I like where this is heading.
Everyone, I think you know what we need to do. We need to get Phil back.
And to heck with the G-force limits.
Alex!
Well, maybe not all the way to heck, but, heck adjacent.
I hate to pop everyone's victory balloons and bring us all crashing back to Earth.
Then let me do it, Izzy. Popping balloons is a hobby of mine. Yes, we beat Hemlock at Cannon Forge, but he will be back.
Quite. So we have no Phil, the wolf is at the door, and to say the shareholders are getting nervous would be a dramatic understatement.
Ooh, I forgot to mention, we made the news feeds. Is this the end for Cloudstormer? Not very imaginative. I'd have said, Colossal Crisis rocks Cloudstormer share confidence.
Yes, well, we face a hard choice. We can either secure the business, or we can focus on trying to get Phil to come back and risk giving Hemlock the upper hand.
If Phil doesn't come back, Hemlock has as good as won anyway, because he'll have broken us up.
I have to agree. Well then, our Visioneer is the only one left at Cloudstormer who even comes close to thinking like Phil. So, put yourself in his weirdly floppy shoes. How do we get him back? But the precise problem is he doesn't believe he has anything new to offer.
What if we found a new twist on something Phil did before?
The Thrillinator! It was his big breakthrough coaster!
We could bring it back. Have our star talent here impossify it.
Making it abundantly clear that Phil has always been our inspiration.
Then we can invite Phil to the big opening.
And maybe, just maybe, he'll forgive and forget and come back to the fold. But do we have a theme that will work with that idea? It was a different kind of science fiction back then, to be sure. Mostly monster costumes fighting silver spacesuits on the moon. But Phil never could resist a rocket ship.
I hate to throw a cold bucket of water. Well, that's not true, but still, how are we going to rebuild the Thrillinator? Seems unlikely any of Phil's blueprints survived.
I'm afraid all the original Cloudstormer documents were lost in that dreadful office fire that Phil swore blind wasn't caused by him smoking herring in the file cabinets.
Did you ever see that ravine stunt I did where I broke 3 legs? Don't worry, only one of them was mine.
I might faint. Please catch me if I do.
Anyway, the rocket bike I used was copied from a picture of evil weevils. Can't you just reverse engineer the Thrillinator from an old photograph?
It's not that easy. Every roller coaster has a signature balance of forces to it. A pull, a push, a feel. But I'll go through the digital files after this meeting, see what I can turn up.
Thank you, Sophia. I'm sure you'll find something that will help. Now, what else does our Visioneer need to make this happen? Well, we knew there would have to be sacrifices. So, are we ready to bring Phil home? Excellent! We'll spare no expense. Well, we'll spare no reasonable expense. Let's bring Phil home.
Wow, this is kind of exciting. A big bad external threat, ticking clock, MacGuffin to find. All we're missing is some skullduggery and betrayal, and we got ourselves a movie.
Ah, funny you should say that. Just had a quick search through Cloudstormer's digital archives, and I've got a sorta good news, bad news kind of thing.
What's the good news?
I found a fact scan of a napkin with Phil's Thrillinator design notes on it. It's just about enough for me to make new blueprints from.
And the bad news?
A rather large number of our other blueprints are missing. I mean, like, someone hacked into our file server and deleted them missing.
Hemlock.
Thrillinator's a thing of beauty, isn't she?
She certainly is. I just wish Phil could have seen it.
Well, give a man a chance. The lines to get into this place are ridiculous.
Mr. Bailey! Sorry, Phil.
Upon reflection, I may have acted somewhat rashly.
No, look, there's more than enough blame on all sides.
Speak for yourself.
I took you for granted, and then I got caught up in the excitement of your protege's new designs and what they did for the company. A protege you insisted on hiring, by the way.
Yes, poetic ironing and all that. I should have seen it was for the betterment of Cloudstormer as a whole. You know, Cloudstormer isn't just a business.
It's a family.
Oh, yes. That's much better than what I was going to say.
Well, this is nice and all, but I don't see Cloudstormer having much future with most of our blueprints stolen. We scraped through once, but we're low on funds, and developing those rides cost millions.
You're not wrong. Very valuable, those. That's why I kept copies of all the blueprints in my trusty notebook. Oh my goodness. I kept copies of all the blueprints in my trusty notebook.
It seems we might just have a chance after all. Of course, how much of a chance depends on what Hemlock has planned next.
Ah, yes. A little bijou, but I'm sure we can make something special here if we all pull together. Ideally, in the same direction this time.
Sorry, but after that last run-in with Hemlock, I'm afraid this site is all we can afford. Even then, I had to finance a lot of it personally. Suffice to say, my stock portfolio is more of a stock pamphlet now.
We've built successful parks on far humbler patches of land than this. But this time, we've got the wisdom of our years and a crackerjack team, including an absolute brainbox wunderkind of a park designer. Yes, I've got a good feeling about the future of Cloudstormer Entertainment.
Hello, neighbor. I hope you don't mind the noise. I've got a new building project on.
Not there, you haven't. I've got an agreement with the landowner. We'll need that space for when the park expands.
You might have had an agreement, but what I had was an almost limitless amount of money.
So, you're going to build yet another park next to us? You've been beaten at that game before. And they didn't even have me working with them that time.
Ha! Waste my time with theme parks again? No. I'm going to do what I do best. Build parking lots. Lots and lots of parking lots. I'm sure your visitors will love the view. It doesn't matter where you build. I'll always be there, ready to throw a whole bag full of wrenches in your plans. And I'm not going to stop until Cloudstormer is finished. Anyway, as I say, sorry about the noise. I'm sure you'll get used to it in time.
I know the situation seems dire, but I encourage everyone not to give in to despair. Our creativity has got us through tougher spots before.
According to my calculations, this is at least 800% tougher than any spot we've been in before. But that's not accounting for inflation.
It's no good. We're deader than belt buckles on stovepipe hats. We can't build a theme park without land. Not while we're awake, anyway.
While we're awake. Dreams!
More like nightmares.
No, dreams. Imagination. Thinking outside the box. Everyone, think about your wildest, craziest dreams. We just have to find something that can get us past this problem.
My dream? Well, there's the one about the motorized peacock pushing me around in a wheelbarrow. But I haven't had that since they stopped putting laudanum in the soda.
Even I am not sure what to say to that one, Phil.
Although, ever since I learned that the Great Wall of China could be seen from space, I had a hankering for a roller coaster that was tall enough to reach near-Earth orbit.
Better, Phil. Much better.
My dream? I don't have a dream, except maybe to do every dangerous and crazy stunt I can find.
Nothing more?
Well, I've already done everything that's even remotely legal on that front. At least until I can persuade a doctor to graft wings onto me so I can fly.
I'm afraid it's very mundane. Like every aspiring entrepreneur, I want to shatter the glass ceiling, reach the top.
But you've done that, Izzy. Haven't you?
It's kind of you to say, but Cloudstormer is small potatoes next to the big corporate players. I guess I wanted to raise the roof for anyone with similar aspirations as myself.
I'm not sure, really. I mean, I've fallen in love with all this impossifying, and I've started to wonder if we could impossify a whole park. Is that a dream? Or just a bad idea?
There are no bad ideas at this point, Sophia. Phil's next suggestion notwithstanding.
I know I'm the best at what I do, but most people don't have the imagination to push me right to the edge of my skills. It's only recently that I've truly felt that the sky's the limit.
Well, I know this isn't the sort of thing most people would call a dream, but I have always wanted to make a theme park in which nobody could get hurt.
One where you just wait in an orderly queue all day?
No, I guess I was thinking of safety systems that ensure any fall is like landing on clouds. It's silly, I know.
Air rights.
For breathing? I thought we always had permission for that. Should I have been paying a bill?
No, air rights for building upwards. Hemlock doesn't own the land, he just gazumped us on the lease. We could still buy the air rights from the owner and put a theme park above it. I can't believe I just suggested that.
Even if this is indeed possible, will this not either take a great deal of time to roll out or cost an absolute fortune or, God forbid, both?
Well, I don't want to be an Alex and ruin everyone's plans. No offense.
None taken?
But the engineering involved in all this isn't going to be quick. I mean, the boardroom Zeppelin is awesome, but even that took me quite a while to get off the ground.
With me hanging from the cable underneath, if I recall correctly.
If you will carabiner yourself to a dirigible, you get what you deserve, Phil. But regarding Sophia's concerns, we'll do what we always do. Iterate.
Oh yeah! First we'll fly, then we'll head for low Earth orbit, and next stop, the moon!
Maybe we can start with Alex's tethered floating platforms. Then I can figure out how to fly them at altitude while the airframes are being built.
It's going to take every last dime we have to pay for the platforms, and I'm guessing we can't expect to have them built anytime soon.
That'd certainly be putting the cart before the horse. Or rather, the thousands of tons of metal and paying customers onto the unlicensed prototype death traps.
Not so worried myself, but I still got a lot of questions that'll need to be answered for this to work.
Then we'll buy you the time to find the answers, Sophia. You still got that big bucket of cash stowed away somewhere for a rainy day, don't you, Izzy?
Sadly, no. It will be entirely up to our Visioneer to buy us time. So I suppose the ultimate question is, can you make and run a park while laying foundations for the next park at the same time? Excellent! A plan worthy of the Cloudstormer name. This is it, my friends. Either we go down in flames or we ascend to victory together.
Can't we do both?
Let's make this happen, everyone. Let's turn all our dreams into reality. Meeting adjourned.
I thought I had you there. Hoped I could beat you. Just this once.
I'll always be a little bit better than you, Hemlock.
That's why you left our company, wasn't it? Because you thought you were better than me.
No, it really wasn't like that. I just wanted something different for myself. What you do with your parking lots, you're brilliant at it.
Well, I do take a certain amount of pride in my work.
But it wasn't something that excited me at all. I didn't leave because of you. I left for me. And I had to work with you to see who I needed to be. It was never intended to be a slight against you. Although that said, you aren't the warmest person, Giles.
I've been very foolish, haven't I?
I think at some point we all have.
Speak for yourselves. I didn't slip at all.
Have you seen any of the rides you've allowed us to build here?
Point taken.
When you think about it, we should have teamed up from the start. I mean, theme parks need plenty of parking.
Well, you certainly got that here.
Ah, but that's the thing. We're going to need parking everywhere.
What the... The platforms can fly?
Evidently. Good work, Sophia.
Just in case, nobody uncross their fingers.
You're going to build a flying theme park? I would never even have thought to build a flying parking lot.
Probably for the best. After all, how would people find their cars again?
So what do you say, Giles? Wherever we pull up, we'll need ample parking. Want to try being a business partner again?